So for these ones, I want you to do on your own. Okay, make sure that you use BEDMAS. Okay, you want to make this into an improper fraction. Okay, before we do the math on this, same with this one. Okay, so make sure that if you're not sure what to do, go back in the videos and check the previous videos, see the examples, make sure that you can kind of see how it's done. Okay, but do these ones on your own and check the answers. These last one here, I'm just going to show how we do this because some people have not sure what to do with these ones, but basically all we're doing is we've been given an expression and we're going to substitute numbers into this expression. So where there's an x, we're going to replace it with a 2. Where there's a y, we're going to replace it with a 3. Where there's a z, we're going to replace it with a minus or negative 5. Okay, so this one's pretty okay except for that plus. So we just have to be careful of that plus. So we want to make sure we deal with that plus, and then everything's just times and divide. Okay, so we have 3 times x is negative 2 over z, which is negative 5. Okay, times, and put in brackets, negative 2 plus negative 3. So you just have to be a little bit careful about that. And the y is negative 3 on the bottom. Okay, so let's work out that plus, and then everything's times and divide. So I'm just going to times this for now. So negative 6 over negative 5. Again, this is really just one fraction. Okay, so we have, this is going to be negative 2 plus negative 3, which is negative 5. So that's a negative 5 factor here. And then there's a negative 3 factor here. Okay, now I should really count my negatives because I have 1, 2, 3, 4 negatives, which means that my answer is going to be positive. An even number of negatives always means positive. An odd number will always give us a negative number. So we can just keep that in mind, but we can also keep track of these negatives. And one way we can get rid of some of these negatives is, well, this whole negative 5 and negative 5 as a group can cancel out. Negative 5 divided by negative 5 is 1. So we have negative 6 over 3. I know negative over negative is positive, so I'm just going to write that as 6 over 3 first. And then we can simplify that to, well, that's just going to be equal to 2. So same thing here. Again, we just have to be careful of z minus y. So 3, we're going to substitute, so for x, we're going to substitute negative 2. For y, we're going to substitute negative 3. So that's going to be positive times positive 3 times negative 2. So I have 1, 2, 3 negatives, so that's odd so far. And z is negative 5 minus y, which is negative 3. So I got to be very careful about that minus. Okay, so we need to make sure we deal with that, because once we dealt with that, now we just have times and divide. So I'm going to rewrite this. Negative 2, that's all times, so 3, negative 2. Okay, this is going to be negative 3. That all becomes negative 5 minus negative, well, minus negative means plus. That means we're going to end up with negative 2. So you have to be really careful with that. Okay, so I'm going to just highlight that. So that's where that came from. Now I can deal with my negatives. I can start canceling. Okay, I'm going to deal with these canceling first. Okay, and then I got to worry about this because this is a plus 3 and that's a minus 3. They don't cancel out the way they are. So if I want to cancel them out, I could either figure out, well, it's going to be positive in the end and just get rid of all the negatives if I want. Or I could do this. I can just factor out the negative as negative 1 times positive 3. Okay, and then I can cancel those. So negative 2 divided by negative 1 is going to be positive, because even number of negatives. And that one's also going to be equal to positive 2.